Get a song from spirit. Get a piece of wall art that looks so good on the wall. People that see can also hear it, hear it, hear it. Only at spirit. Hey there! Hey there! Hey there! Are you tired of looking at that blank space on the wall? If so, go to Spirit and get you some nice pictures to H. You can get them for yourself or the office. Spirit. And here's a family member. A great gift that'll last years and years. Spirit. Home decorations and mixes like water. And having class at your school. You'll have a classy side. Spirit. Choose from our selection to get the most uncool wallet for an opening season discount now. So you have that classy style. Choose from our selection to get the most uncool wallet for an opening season discount now. Oh yeah, get them the music right after what you like. Ooh. Hey there. Are you tired of looking at that blank space on the wall? If so, go to
Yo, all praise to the Creator. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another one. Please continue to bless and protect us. Please continue to bless us and protect us, Heavenly Father. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And destroy your enemies instead of us is our prayer and plea. You feel me? Like we were rebuking the devil in the name of Jesus Christ with this one. What's good with the people, man? What's good with the people, man? Salutes to the real. I'm the supervisor on duty, Red Squid X. And so, man, today's episode is called Look. Look. Aliens are from Earth. There is no such thing as aliens, really. I mean, illegal aliens, people just don't know things. They're alien to it. I get it. But really, the Moon Saturn matrix provide that all those planets out there are just moons. And that all the things that we think is planets in our solar system really was created by using materials from the earth. So they cut the trees down. And what did they do? We hear stories that the Nephilim, they cut the trees down. The Nephilim, they cut the trees down. What did they do with all that material? what they do with that material, man? They turned it into floating platforms using magnetism, and they'll float and created floating islands. But that's not what today's topic is about. It's about the aliens, so-called. And so think of it like this, right? Giant trees in the past, it was smart to cut them down. They were already withering. But they was making resources. They was making a recyclable. They was recycling the trees. And they turned them into what? They turned them into craft and things that people could float off with. They turned them into giant, I don't know what you would call those, pods with the Nephilim, with the giants in the middle, like in the yolk of the egg. In stasis. They can never be in them human bodies again. I mean, they can never, there's no real point for them to ever wake up in them giant avatars that they have, because the atmosphere ain't the same. They wouldn't be able to maintain themselves in this pressure and this heat. You know what I mean? So they have to perpetually function outside of their physical body. And they use technology and spirituality concepts is what we see. But there's technology. They're using technology to keep their soul and consciousness fresh and in the computer and in a new body. And so you got at least 7 to 9 of them, right? And it's like, those are the gods, the lowercase g gods. Those are the fallen angels. They're the ones. That's Cthulhu in a human form. That's that Ouroboros snake that I discovered in 2016 in a human form. So think of it like this, right? You hear all this talk about data centers. You hear all this talk about trillions, billions to trillions of dollars being used to invest in AI technology. What do you think that's for? Let's put it in layman's terms. What do you think that's for? That's so that person can buy the most computers and have the most space to store the most data on, so that a soul, a consciousness could stretch and have all the space it needs in order to, really get, feel alive, be alive. You know what I mean? And so definitely there's the idea of using data centers is to create a stronger AI. And what stronger AI can you get than this? I mean, listen, this is the first reason for the data center called the Moon Saturn Matrix. The consciousness of this serpent, right, is a fractal of the being we call Cthulhu, and is also a fractal of the being we call Jupiter. And so Saturn is a computer to this use of technology, as it's a machine that works in tandem with the moon, which actually has people on there, in the backside or in the inside, both. And we are in the Truman Show for that camera, right? Because remember, it's called the Moon Saturn Matrix. I don't know why people get all, infatuated with Saturn and forget about the moon. It's the Moon Saturn Matrix. That's how you say it. It's not the Saturn Matrix. It's not the Moon Matrix. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like just Saturn, like people going on, oh, Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I heard somebody mention Saturn. All this other, it's like, that is literally dick riding, but they don't know that. They don't see it that way, right? Because we would, God would never make it to where, God don't want no dick riders. right? And so you be seeing where people mind at just by based off the topic that they choose to be capricious about, right? And so the Moon Saturn matrix is a computer. It's a functional computer that is I think in its when it worked, because now I don't think it works. I'd say that it's pretty much dysfunctional. I think that the planets, the moon, they got craters on it. Earth, they got craters on it because of actual warfare, right? Actual warfare, not because of a comet. Like those are craters. Look where those craters are, by the way. Look where those craters are, by the way. Look what those craters are. Those craters are all in the main spots where people will be at in ancient times. It just so happened that those meteorites, we're supposed to believe that they ain't never happened yet, right? Like since late recent history, they haven't been happening. Like there have been no recording of none of this stuff falling from the sky and doing anything. The last, we know about Jesus 2,000 years ago. And then we go further than that, and you don't got no goddamn on reliable story of something falling from the sky, creating mass destruction. Why is that? Because whoever was in the radius of that fallen object would have been destroyed. They would have been destroyed. We wouldn't have heard no stories because it wouldn't have been no stories. Nobody can make no damn stories. Nobody can make no stories about some shit they don't know about. So yeah, there's no such thing as meteorites and comets like that, the way they tell us, right? Because we've been doing good for ourselves and we ain't had no strikes. But what's Three-Eye Atlas? Three-Eye Atlas could do what to anything if it hit it, because the concept of Three-Eye Atlas, it debunks our enemies and their science and their fake education system that they put up. Who don't know that? Three-Eye Atlas debunks our fake ass enemies' system of false education. You know what I'm saying? And false record. Let's manifest a picture of Three-Eye Atlas, because what they said this was, it would have done way more damage than a couple of little ass craters had something went left with that. You know what I'm saying? Here it is where this is the map of Three-Eye Atlas. All right. From when it was first detected to where where its trajectory is mapped out to go to. All right. And so Three-Eye Atlas was an object detected moving amongst a scene of still objects. Right. So the way, for those that don't know, the way they do things in astronomy and things like that is that they pretty much take a picture of the sky. But instead of it being a picture of it being just a clip of time, it's a time lapse picture. And so think of it as having a camera running and viewing the whole night sky, right? And so scientists measure the movements made by each dot of light picked up on that camera. And from that type of stationary versus non-stationary format is how we detect things and how they seem Three-Eye Atlas. And so Three-Eye Atlas came in, and I wouldn't know how much distance they need to know about to understand what the trajectory was. But they figured it out. I'm talking about top scientists, the world's most intelligent. If anybody was to come through and say, hey, we're aliens, we want to land, like these are the people that would be communicated or be having opinions that we would all like pretty much believe or whatever, testify to. Like, astronomy is like one of those topics, right? And the nerds, the people that go to school to learn about that type of stuff, they is pretty much, in a somewhat exciting field of study, because things like this happen now, thanks to 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas come through, and it's at an angle that is hard to believe. And it's the fastest recorded object ever recorded by our mainstream academia. That's another thing that makes it interesting. And then, according to the Angry Astronaut, shout out to him. Y'all go sub and subscribe to his channel if y'all want to know about space stuff. You know what I mean? He broke it down so that people like myself can understand. What I understand is that there's about 22 anomalous features dealing with 3i Atlas. And these features are things that go contrary to what mainstream media think. Yes, the same mainstream media, academia, or whatever you call what people know about, that finds something new, that rewrites the history books every day. Right? Every day on the news, you hear about how something got to be rewritten because they finding out something new that they didn't know. And they got technology, they got AI, they got better, time has passed, we got better ability to gauge, because only God can save. Only God saves, and I call on God because I can't make the right decisions all the time. And I need help. As a matter of fact, I want God to guide me on all my decisions, Heavenly Father. Please guide me on all my decisions and movements and thoughts and feelings and everything. I would like God to have full overstanding, if he don't already. I already know he got it. But I'm just saying, I would say it again out loud because these topics are strong, man. These topics are super strong. Do you understand that the fact that 3i Atlas exists means that we don't have to go to college or school or high school or none of that shit? We ain't got to go to community college. Like, they need to rewrite all of that stuff. And while they're doing it, they can stop hiding Black history. Yeah. They can stop with the lies. Right? They can stop with that bullshit that they on. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just be honest. The Illuminati, Freemasons, y'all just made a bunch of freaky ass lames. Real talk. Satanic lames, no damn talent. No negativity. Only God knows better than I do. And I'm just like, look, God saves. Our Father in heaven saves. Because it ain't me. It ain't me. I know that's for sure. Y'all better give thanks, man. Back to the topic, right? The topic was like 3i Atlas came in on one end, right? And by the size of this object, the scientists say it should have been depleted its content by now, right? Based off the size of it, right? They trying to make sense out of things based off the size and the speed and trajectory. So based off the size at the speed that it's going, it should have ran out of shit to burn off to create that comet tail. You know what I'm saying? That coma, they call it. That tail behind the main piece. all that is exhaust. Those are bits and particles. Those are all of gases being released and burnt up. It's like steam, because the closer it gets to the sun, the hotter it gets, right? And so things are melting off of it, turning into steam and evaporating. And that's how our scientists could read which gases is being let off and all this and that. So basically, they say that it should not have, it don't make no sense how it got still all this stuff and its exhaust. It's still, it got brighter. It didn't get destroyed. It didn't, you know, it didn't disintegrate as it came to close to the sun, the perihelion. And so basically, it should have been got destroyed. We don't even know why it's there, but their science can't make up for how it's not destroyed, and that it came at a time in which all of the planets was lined up with Earth on the other side of the sun at the same time. And so it came through and passed each and every one of our planets in our solar system except for Earth. How about that? That 3-eye atlas came in when all the planets was passed by at their closest point without falling into their atmosphere, their gravity. All of them in one shot, with Earth on the other side. And then when perihelion was reached, it got brighter. There was 3 jets, symmetrical, right? 3 jets that was emanating from this object we call 3-eye atlas, and they were equal distances away from each other. Listen, that is interesting, and people should be on their best behavior, mind, body, and soul. And so that's that topic. And so what we talking about today is, for one, how would nobody know nothing about the Moon Saturn matrix had it not been for Credo Mutwa, South African Zulu tribesmen, priestmen, right? A Sangoma. And so you're dealing with someone from the earliest people in the world from existence that recorded time, that recorded language, like people, cultural memory was in them people. And so that's really where it started at. You know what I mean? And in this world of opposition, you know what I'm saying? You got it to where they tell you that Egypt is where it started at. You see, they want to tell you where Egypt started at, where they came out of Africa at. They looking at Africa from that point, which they call over there by Egypt. So South Africa is their ancestors to all them people down there close to the Mediterranean. All them people from the Middle East to the Mediterranean, all them people are technically from the loins of the genetics from which Credo Mutwa represent and hail from and represent. And so once again, Africa taught the world everything it needed to know to be something. And you see that with David Icke, right? David Icke, you don't even really see him giving props like he should. I don't think he giving props like he should be. I don't think he been giving props like he should be. I feel like he need to do a little more when it comes to saying, look, Credo Mutwa put me on all this. You know what I mean? Credo Mutwa, African, put me on to all of this. That's what I want to hear more from David Icke and people like his stupid ass, man. Let's go. David Icke plus. You know what I'm saying? David Icke plus, man. Like, for real, what is he talking about? What is you talking about? Like, you got all that information from this who the Cradle Move Wall taught. You got all that shit. Look at little silver hair, little Palladian. Little Palladian, perhaps. Some say he a reptilian. And we can't trust him. That's messed up. Like, he should be trustworthy. He doing all that jipper japper. He doing all that jipper japper. You know what I'm saying? Talking about something, and all I see is Credo Mutwa is the one he just talking about some African shit. So why African so-called African Americans ain't talking that shit? Why they not the ones talking that shit? Why they not the ones talking that shit? You know who you remind me of? Real shit, man. The dude remind me of remember that dude named WikiLeaks? He came out with the WikiLeaks. That shit, Julian Assange. Look. He's a silver hair. He must be the silver hair racist. I'm just saying. I mean, we shoot first, ask questions later. All these silver hair races definitely connected to reptilians and whatever's negative we could think of. Negative little aliens, which brings us to the concept where there ain't no aliens. Look, that's their face right there. That's one of their faces right there. Now, I'm not saying that's a reptilian. I'm not saying that's a reptilian or Palladian. I'm saying that, look, they go some evidence right there. And we got more. We can put more on the plate. Look, they go some evidence right there. Look, they go some evidence right there. And look, they go some evidence right there. Y'all, if anybody thought that Peru one was a cheap shot, then here, bomb. Look, they go evidence right there. I'm just saying, man, we got them. We not Arby's. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely in there with it. And you know what I'm saying? We got all that shit, man. So now let's talk about something, if y'all don't mind. Let's talk about something I want to talk about. Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar. So Dr. Umar Johnson is mentioned by Kevin Hart, I don't know, his team. And so you know what that means? That means that they take notice. It's a different status level going on. Celebrity status mean that they is going by the school out. You see? It means that they is going to he is going to get the school been built. And this is how he get that initial reaction. This is attention. People is joking on Dr. Umar. So, but now all you got to do is, all Dr. Umar got to do is stay smart. Don't say nothing stupid. Don't do nothing stupid. Be as clean. You know what I mean? That's all Dr. Umar got to do is be clean. don't be perverse. Don't talk about relationships and what you do to women and things like that. You know, as far as personal life, don't bring in your family involved. Nobody need to see how you living. Just show up in the damn interviews, and I don't know. He could do, you know, he might do social media and shit, but and right now I'd say social, like, don't do no social media now. Just do interviews, and then the people gonna call. They're gonna go to him and see what his reaction is to Kevin Hart and whatever's going on with that, right? Because yeah, how it go is like, that's mainstream. Kevin Hart already called a coon and shit. And so now he is like talking about something about somebody, right, that is trying to do something better than what Kevin Hart doing. Right? Kevin Hart is the coon that Cat Williams called out. And Dr. Umar is trying to build a school, bringing attention to the miseducation of young Black men and women in this United States. And so he's that topic that now, if, you know what I'm saying, if it become an argument where Cat Williams acknowledged that Dr. Umar should get attention, and why Cat Williams ain't a Dr. Umar with his millions of dollars that he done received from being coonish or being lame, you know, being whatever he called his career, right? Like, he's being called out as someone that represents someone that's what's wrong with the people, right? He don't do enough. He is a natural born, he the spirit of white supremacy. So I don't know, it's something like that Kevin Hart he's able to exude a little hate, a little demon on about him. You know what I mean? And Dr. Umar ain't squeaky clean, but all he would need to do is clean up his act, get it together on something that people could read in a business format, business model, and get it accredited. Just have certain topics and special classes and shit like that, or you know, tell them to, you know, challenge them to do it with their monies. See, Umar Johnson can go out on them because they ain't done nothing. You ain't never seen nobody give back to the community outside of a few buying up the block and giving money away type shit. So for Kevin Hart to be trying to diss Dr. Umar, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we should attack Kevin Hart with the truth without attacking. You know what I'm saying? Computer, what is the disagreement between Kevin Hart and Dr. Umar Johnson?
Dr. Umar Johnson criticized Kevin Hart's Netflix roast, arguing some jokes crossed the line from comedy to disrespect, especially those referencing slavery and George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Hart's comedy circle pushed back, defending the roast's humor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think that Dr. Umar should go forward and attack as if Kevin Hart is his personal pinata. And
I can see why that might seem satisfying, but public disputes rarely resolve anything.
Computer, I'm good. I'm talking to my audience.
Sounds like you're all set then.
So look, man, real talk, it is something wrong with that shit. And if Umar Johnson is calling it out, all he got to do is not stop he got to say something about no laughing matter. He got to do something like that. He got to do like stop the jokes, or something like where it's like no jokes about it. The no jokes about it. He got to do something right. He can capitalize off this comedian, the jester, the royal order of the jesters and shit. These Satanists. Computer, what is the Royal Order of the Jesters?
The Royal Order of Justice is a legal
Computer,
document used.
what is the Royal Order of the Jesters?
The Royal Order of Jesters is a secret fraternal group for Shriners, formed in 1911. It's known for its playful approach to brotherhood, with the motto "Mirth is King." Are you interested in learning more about this organization and its activities?
No.
Got it.
Computer, matter of fact, I changed my mind. Yes, go ahead and tell me more.
The Royal Order of Jesters is an exclusive group for Shriners, formed in 1911 during a trip to Hawaii. They're all about keeping things lighthearted with their motto, "Mirth is King." Basically, they're the fun-loving side of Freemasonry. Want to know how someone becomes a member of this exclusive group?
Yes, and also tell me, if they're the fun-loving side, then what is the other side?
The Royal Order of Jesters is indeed the fun-loving side of Freemasonry. The more serious side includes organizations like the Scottish Rite and York Rite, which offer additional degrees and focus on deeper philosophical and moral lessons. Want to learn more about what those serious sides, like the Scottish Rite, are all about?
Yes, I want you to repeat that first, though.
The Royal Order of Jesters is the fun-loving side of Freemasonry. It's an exclusive group for Shriners formed in 1911 with the motto "Mirth is King." Basically, they're all about keeping things lighthearted. The more serious side includes organizations like the Scottish Rite and York Rite, which focus on deeper philosophical and moral lessons.
What type of philosophical and moral lessons?
The Scottish Rite teaches lessons in comparative religion, history, and philosophy through dramatic presentations. They cover topics like justice, tolerance, knowledge, and personal responsibility. The York Rite focuses on deeper exploration of Masonic philosophy and ethics through its three main bodies.
What's the three main bodies?
The York Rite has three main bodies: the Chapter of Royal Archmasons, the Council of Royal and Select Masters, and the Commandery of Knights Templar.
All right, so remember this conversation. I'm going to bring it up again later. I might need you to repeat some of that. But first, also, let me tell you that you said philosophical and morality lessons are what is taught in Freemasonry. Who is the king of Freemasonry? Who is the god of Freemasonry? And who is the origin name of Freemasonry?
Freemasonry doesn't have a king or god. It's a fraternal organization that teaches moral and philosophical lessons through symbolic rituals. The origin of Freemasonry is debated, but it likely developed from medieval stonemason guilds.
Yeah, okay, so that's a waste of time. Now, why is my dreads pulling now? This shit is
Fair
too
enough.
tight.
Not everything hits the mark for everyone.
So listen, man, this is what I want to say to you. Dr. Umar is, some people said he was an agent, but that's the topic that matters. And that's what topic is about. The topic is, who is right here? Dr. Umar for standing up against the terrible roast, or the little flunkies that Kevin Hart hired? So, anyways, I think Dr. Umar definitely got the right to criticize Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is pretty much, he was decimated by Cat Williams. And when you see the reaction to Cat Williams, you know, when you see the reaction Cat Williams made, that's what a bitch ass comedian looked like, making a reaction. That's what a bitch ass, punk ass, hated demon, that's what it looked like, trying to cover up from being decimated with all type of truth. All type of truth. Cat Williams wiped the floor with him, man. Let's go to the next topic. Look at this shit. Now, piece of shit Aries Spears and the Wayans brothers is going back and forth. Aries Spears is a dump. And you know, he too, these all of this order, the secret order of jesters, man. Like the comedians is really turned up because they the ones they be knowing the most. They be knowing the most and shit, and that's why they be cutting up. They be cutting up, they be knowing the most, and they be cutting up. So how they be supposedly making fun after knowing so much, right? So how a person, a real comedian, they just really satanic, man. They really on, you know what I mean? Like, look at Aries Spears. Like, he's supposed to be a leader demon. And so, man, I think he's trash. I always thought his comedy was trash. He always looked like he doing blackface anyway, if he ever was entertaining, but he's not. This is why he's canceled, because he and Tiffany Haddish did pedophile skits, right? Pedophile like skits. And it's like, you know, that shit is never okay. That shit is never okay, man. That shit is never okay, man. They out there doing petty skits. So him and Tiffany Haddish is canceled. You know what I'm saying? They canceled for real, man. Like, so you see on the way down, he out here grabbing and reaching for all these people around him. So evidently, he was starting to ask DJ Vlad for more money. Right? DJ Vlad is the bloodsucker. Like, that's literally a vampire, just like the name Vlad Impaler. Like, he come from a culture, it's a culture of vampires within that dumbass hip-hop bullshit. So DJ Vlad, I don't know what the fuck I don't know what he really known for or whatever. But he up here with all the interviews with people, which now is a thing. That's how people get paid, the whole interview. Look at him. He always smiling. Look, this is the guy that's interviewing all the people about all their troubles and all their woes and shit, all their problems and shit. Like DJ Vlad is paying people that got no, you know what I mean, paying people a little bit of money to do a whole lot, put their life on there, you know what I mean? Like, some say he working with the police. Look at the smile on his face. Look at the smile on his face. You could put Jerry Springer and Lear Cohen right next to him and get a real picture of you know what I mean, the what would amount to a Michael Rappaport, right? Which would amount to a damn Epstein file. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, real shit. Yo, you a scumbag if you with this guy on his team, with him, anything. Scumbag. They parasites. People like this guy. Parasites. I'm talking about parasites. You know what a parasite is? A parasite. You know what I'm saying? That's what that guy is. Let me show you another one. Let me show another. Let me show another one. A well-known, right? Well-known. Oh damn. But it's dealing with the same thing when it comes to humans. When it comes to people, he doing the same shit DJ Vlad did. Or he did the same shit DJ Vlad did. You know what I'm saying? DJ Vlad just pushing the same shit this guy pushing. Look, Jerry Springer. What the heck? Jerry Springer. This dude, this shit was poison to the people, man. That shit was poison to the people, man. That's why people ratchet now. They used to go up on there just to fight. Do y'all remember that? They used to go up on there just to fight, man. That was later on in the show. That was later on, like later on in the years, like as it used to be that it would be a little minute. It was a rare thing, some shit pop up. Some shit pop up, but now, but toward the end, right? They had it where it's like, yeah, they just jump into it. They had a little fighting bell and shit, ding ding. You know what I'm saying? It became like some MMA shit because people that wanted to fight each other were signing up to go to the show. So he started pulling in guests that was locals and fans of the show. Like they started to ride that wave. At first, he had scripted interviews and circumstances, and then it became like such a fanfare that people was offering. And so then he got into the concept of scripting and like going for a good show. Jerry Springer, look at that shit. Look, Vlad TV. Look at the big smile on his face. Look at the big smile on his face, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, man. It really is. And so I'm trying to make, well, I'm not trying to make anything, but I'm just saying, I'm just letting my opinion be known that, you know, I would never agree with these type of scumbags or anything that they're doing and what they doing. So everybody's smiling with this guy. Look, he a Nephilim. Hold on. This guy a whole Nephilim, man. Look. It's a goddamn on Nephilim, dog. You see that? Look at that. I don't know what he claiming, man. I don't know what he claiming, but we don't appreciate it. We don't appreciate none of this shit that they brought forth, all this ratchetness that they done brought forth and endorsed and co-signed on, all this bullshit talking about they making money off of the pipeline to prison installed by the higher ups in this land who infused the neighborhoods of African Americans with guns and drugs, and with strict policing to fill into private prisons and regular prisons and private prisons, and then treat people as if they was animals, and withhold them from justice, do crimes against them, you know what I mean, all type of crimes against them, cause them harm, nonsensical harm, and chaos that's all the way up into the actual who is the president, who's in that administration and on down. And so God is great, and so then we'll be able to fix the country's woes in God's name. And these villains is going to be destroyed one way or another by God's hand. So there's no need to participate in anything violent or like do any type of law-breaking concepts, because we don't promote anything against the law, we don't promote anything against policies here on YouTube or StreamYard. We do not promote any terrorism, hate groups, and we don't give out medical advice or financial advice or legal advice. The views expressed here are strictly satirical. The satire, comedy, freedom of speech, opinion-based allegations, rumors, and not true, just all entertainment purposes only. Unless anything is true, therefore that part is educational purposes only. So here it is where, as a supervisor on duty, I think I covered a lot for this particular shift. And this is just going to be up there. It's going to be up there. We got these people to deal with, though. Put them in the lineup. Put them in the lineup, dog. put them in the lineup with them, man. That's they people. They is one with them people, man. So they might be thinking that, you might say that this approach is not productive. They might say that. They might say that my approach is too brash, and that they just not going to be able. They're going to need somebody that basically got what I got, right? But in a way that's nicer for them, and that's not going to happen because God's not going to bless them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, they is used to using eons or over centuries, thousands of years. They're used to wasting time looking for that pattern in another way instead of acknowledging and addressing the pattern when they see it. They want to wait it out, look at the birth chart, want to look at the stars. You know what I mean? They want to avoid it by saying that there's such an obstacle to go directly to it. When no, it's not no obstacle. There's no need to do any more extra thinking about it. And y'all should act now, right? Y'all should act on righteousness now and not try to wait for a day you spending all this time claiming you don't believe in. Right? That's hypocritical how they waiting for they're doing all the antichrist, anti-God ways. And at the same time, they is anticipating Christ and trying to prevent him from showing up, trying to prevent God or God's saints and people from doing what God willed them to do. And so there's a war against humans, right? And black and white people is caught up in that. You know that they killed Charlie Kirk. They killed Charlie Kirk. Now it's just confusion. Now it's just confusion, man. That's crazy. Like, they killed Charlie Kirk. Now we don't know nothing. Right? Like, yeah, like Erica Kirk is it. No, Erica Kirk, we saw through her. We seen through Erica Kirk, man. She didn't get no love from the people, man. She didn't get no love from the people, man. Nah. Yeah.